Refined, the smell of the grease paint, the roar of the crowd.
Hey, quit your fighting. Quit your fighting.
From backstage jitters to red carpet regalia, Refined gets starstruck at Seattle's version of the Tony Awards. Plus, the truth behind Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
The best bit of advice I got, which was music to my ears as a filmmaker, was from Mrs. Rogers, who said to me, "Don't make Fred into a saint."
We sit down with the Oscar-winning director of a revealing new documentary. Then, it's raining cats and dogs. Or, scratch that, just dogs. Find out why not even storm clouds could dampen this puppy party. Seattle Refined starts now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Garth Swanson in Des Moines today. One of the things we love on this show is discovering new talent, and we were absolutely blown away last year when we brought in a special high school correspondent to help us cover something called the Fifth Avenue Awards.
Good evening, folks. My name is Owen Leopold, and I am going to be your refined correspondent this evening.
Not only was Owen our reporter, he was a nominee at the annual show which celebrates high school musical talent from around the state.
Hello, how are you today? I love your jacket. And what show did you do?
The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. Couldn't have guessed it by your weapon.
A year has passed since we last saw Owen. He just finished up his freshman year over at the UW. But as they say, the show must go on. So when we looked at our calendar and saw the awards coming up again, we called Owen, coaxed him out of his retirement, sent him back out on the red carpet to get the scoop on these stars of tomorrow.
Howdy there, folks. It's Owen Leopold here at the Fifth Avenue Theater. We're hosting the Fifth Avenue Awards tonight for Seattle Refined. And I'm excited to ask some questions, get some answers, and have some fun while I'm doing it. So let's go, shall we? What are you most excited for tonight? Who are you most excited to see perform? And what school are you representing here? That's question number one.
Yeah. We're representing Prairie High School.
Prairie High School. And what part of the state is that in?
That's in Brush Prairie, Washington. So.
It's
Wow. Gee whiz. Yeah, never heard of it. Seriously. Hey, quit your fighting. Quit your fighting. What school are you here with tonight?
Juanita High School.
Juanita High School. I love the cats on your shirt, right? I wish that sometimes I could just have a cat in the tux. My, so vibrant. Like a highlighter. Who did you play?
I was Anita.
Anita? Nina, Anita? Yeah, did I say it right?
Zanita.
Can you put the little hats on? Those are good little hats. Wow. No, they're not cheap at all. That's the hat that Michael Jackson wore when he moonwalks. I can moonwalk really well. You know, oh my gosh! Apologies. That sounded really gorgeous. No, I'm serious. That was so good. If you guys don't win the award, I'm gonna be mad. Oh my, did you just crawl out of a cave?
Yeah, from the jungle, Tarzan, you know.
Our force is dragging me away from you. Did you know that I'm actually a veteran of the theater?
Oh, really?
I actually am. I have really bad PTD. That's post-theater depression. All right, folks, the red carpet is over, and it's now time to enter the Butamus Theater. I'm going to pull open this gigantic, heavy door with my big man muscles and see if we can go on inside, yeah? Dance with me right now. Oh, yeah. Samuel. Wow. I love your hat.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Brennan Bibby.
Brennan, I'm Owen. Nice to meet you. No, seriously.
Where do you go?
Home after this.
After this?
That's my brother right there. Wow. I'm coming straight for you, big green man. How are you?
Good.
So I'm assuming that you were in Susical, right?
While we sing tomorrow's song, never knew we could.
And here I am, backstage at the Fifth Avenue Theater, about to interview some extraordinary thespians. I'm just gonna stare. I'm staring.
Tristan Nelson, Enumclaw High School. Jaden Lamb, Seattle Academy of the Arts and Sciences.
Congratulations, of course, you guys, on winning the awards. We have Tristan and Jaden here tonight. And what did you win? And how do you feel about being a winner?
Oh, well, I won Best Supporting Actor, and I feel great. I'm living the dream right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I won Best Supporting Actress, and I didn't expect this at all. I'm thoroughly shaken.
You're thoroughly shaken. Shooken. Hashtag shooken.
Thane Boersma.
You just won the award for the outstanding performance by an actor in a featured role. Congratulations. How do you feel right now?
It was awesome, and I'm Wow.
Well, clearly it was pretty awesome because look at you here. Look what you're holding in your hand thing. All right, folks, I'm here with Como's very own Morgan Chesky.
Second year here, how does it feel?
Pretty good, actually.
Rule number 1, never relinquish the microphone.
Here we are at the end of the night, thus concluding another year of the Fifth Avenue Awards. The talent here was absolutely mind-blowing. My name is Owen Leopold, and until next time, break a leg.
To learn more about the Fifth Avenue Awards or see a complete list of winners, log on to our website. Speaking of musical theater, there's another big show at the Fifth Ave, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The newest spin on the Victor Hugo classic is playing right now. The show features the songs from the Disney version of the story, but the show is not a straight-up adaptation of the animated film. The actor playing the lead, Quasimodo, is deaf, and we're told the story sticks closer to the original novel's darker tone. It runs through June 24th. Another Victor Hugo classic has taken the Paramount Theater by storm. Les Mis is back. The latest tour of the Tony Award-winning sensation plays through June 17th. And last check, you can still find tickets. Also at the Paramount this month, the Tony Award-winning musical adaptation of Alice Walker's The Color Purple. It runs for about a week at Seattle's Paramount Theater, beginning June 27th. Don't forget, Father's Day weekend is coming up, and there's no better place to spend quality time with Dad than at our sponsor, the Edmonds Arts Festival. Hundreds of artists will converge on the charming waterfront town this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Refine's Malia Karlinski has a sneak peek.
If you're searching for a special experience this Father's Day weekend, you'll find it just a few miles north of Seattle in picture-perfect Edmonds. This marks the 61st annual Edmonds Arts Festival, the place to celebrate the arts. And there's something for everyone. Tom Allison is a director.
At the Edmonds Arts Festival, you're going to find 240 booths. There are going to be 200 booths on the field. These are for fine arts. And then we're going to have another 40 booths on the plaza level, and they contain arts, crafts, and culinary arts.
That's just the start. You can also check out the Anderson Cultural Center. It showcases high-end paintings, photography, and sculptures from more than 400 artisans.
We have a gallery that's wonderful where professional artists have submitted works for prizes, and those are available as a purchase of an original piece. That's an excellent exhibit that I really enjoy.
At this family-friendly event, pint-sized Picassos can express themselves in the Kids Create area.
Kids get to interact and try doing art. It's supervised, the parents are there, and it's a really hands-on experience for them, many of them first time to try new things and get creative.
If you like the performing arts, this will be music to your ears. At this festival, you can catch some amazing acts.
At the Edmonds Arts Festival, we're going to have a wide variety of entertainment. It's going to include student musicians, jazz music, and other professional performances.
With everything there is to see and hear, you'll probably work up an appetite. Sure to tempt your taste buds, the 20 delicious food and drink vendors located throughout the festival grounds.
If you're into food, there's food. You can find just about anything at this event.
This wonderful community event is a feast for the senses, but it also warms the heart.
The Edmonds Arts Festival is a for-profit organization for the benefit of the Edmonds Arts Foundation. The foundation supports grants, student scholarships, and public art installations such as the statue behind me right here.
It's just one of the many works of art bringing a sense of fun and whimsy to the Edmonds waterfront, where folks of all ages can enjoy them. You can see the impact of the grants all over Edmonds, including the schools.
There's about 143 kids, and they all get to personalize their own portraits.
It was an Edmonds Arts Foundation grant that made it possible for artist Mike O'Day to help local kids create a colorful clay mural at their elementary school.
And even though I did step-by-step instructions how to do it, they're all completely unique. And then it was installed right outside the library. For these big projects that I do, it requires a lot of money and time, and it just wouldn't be possible without the money that comes from the Edmonds Arts Festival and Foundation.
Just another way that the Edmonds Arts Festival and Foundation is making a beautiful impact.
The broad variety of arts that we represent, the community it's in, the whole thing is just a wonderful, special, unique experience that I think everybody should come and at least see once in their life.
To learn more about the Edmonds Arts Festival, log on to our website. Coming up on Seattle Refined, it was always a beautiful day in the neighborhood when Mr. Rogers was on TV.
I feel like you come out of the film with a big dose of wanting to be a better neighbor.
we sit down with the Oscar award-winning director of a new documentary about the life and legacy of Fred Rogers. Plus,
Oh dear. Oh dear.
it's a wrap. We go behind the scenes of Seattle's Taylor Farms. We'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
It's been 50 years since Mr. Rogers first invited America to be his neighbor, and it's an invitation that changed millions of lives for the better. Welcome back to my neighborhood. I'm Gard Swanson, and this is Seattle Refined. Generation after generation, American children learn valuable lessons about feelings and friendship thanks to one of television's greatest teachers, Mr. Rogers. Now, the life and legacy of Fred Rogers is the focus of a brand new documentary. Refined got a chance to chat with its Oscar-winning director.
You pick projects not because it's a story you want to tell, but I've come to realize it's because it's a story you need to tell.
Morgan Neville has made a career out of listening to the voices in his head, exploring his passions.
You're supposed to be singing. There's a whole world out there who wants to hear you sing.
In 2014, his love of music led him to explore the lives of background singers in the film 20 Feet from Stardom.
And the Oscar goes to 20 Feet from Stardom. Morgan Neville.
The film won the Oscar for Best Documentary and brought Neville widespread acclaim. But when the applause died down, there was a new voice in his head, one he knew he couldn't ignore.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you?
I was born in 1967, his show went on in 1968, and I was like Gen 1 Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood fan. I loved it as a kid. But I never thought I'd make a film about him. I didn't even think about him for decades.
But now he couldn't stop thinking about him.
I somehow found myself on YouTube late one night watching a speech he gave. And there was something about it that just made me feel like I want to hear more of that voice. Like, I don't hear that voice in our culture anymore. I want to spend more time with that voice.
Fred Rogers had died more than a decade before. To tell his story, Neville would need to get the blessing of the Rogers family.
When I first met Mrs. Rogers, I said, look, I don't want to make a film that's a biography of Fred Rogers as much as I want to make a film about his ideas.
He also knew to create the film he wanted, he'd need them to relinquish complete control. They agreed, with one caveat.
The best bit of advice I got, which was music to my ears as a filmmaker, was from Mrs. Rogers, who said to me, don't make Fred into a saint. And I thought that was so wise of her.
After poring over hours of rare archival footage and conducting numerous interviews, a clearer picture of Fred Rogers emerges in the film Won't You Be My Neighbor?
You take all of the elements that make good television and do the exact opposite. You have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Low production values, simple set, unlikely star. Yet, it worked. Because he was saying something really important.
What Neville discovered was breathtakingly powerful life lessons disguised in a land of make-believe.
What does assassination mean?
He was making a TV show for 2 to 6 year olds. And what he was trying to do was explain to them how to be people. So Fred's idea was, I'm going to be honest with kids. You know, bad things are happening, and I'm going to help explain it so your fear doesn't, grow inside of you. And that was kind of a radical notion at the time.
But who was Fred Rogers really? Was he for real?
And essentially what I found out is, he's very much for real. I mean, he is both who he is, but the difference between Mr. Rogers and Fred Rogers is that the man, Fred Rogers, was actually a much more complex, deeper version of the TV character. I mean, he was a profound guy who did something that was simple and deep, but most people just thought it was simple.
Neville says he hopes his film will inspire us all to be better neighbors, to make America kind again.
I think people have taken kindness for granted for a long time. And in that way, I feel like Fred is the kindness lobby. That's why I want to make a film about him, to at least have a chance to have a discussion around the value of being good to one another, because that's essentially what he was trying to do.
Love is at the root of everything. All learning, all parenting, all relationships, love or the lack of it.
Scott Rondo, Seattle Refined.
Morgan Neville's documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor, opens nationwide this Friday. We'll have our refined review tomorrow.
Suit up, it might get weird. I'll be there ASAP.
Where you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP.
Also tomorrow, a first look at Incredibles 2, and I go one-on-one with Oscar-nominated actor Ethan Hawke. Coming up, how a local company is keeping their fruits and veggies fresh, just for you. And this furry 5K was for the dogs, literally. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Folks in West Seattle have an intriguing new choice when it comes to upscale farm-to-table fare. Vine and Spoon opened Friday. The restaurant is brought to you by the same folks who own the nearby cocktail bar Alchemy and Cap Hill Sammy Shop by the pound. The eclectic menu says it offers craft dishes from garden, land, and sea, and as well as unique cocktails, including something called Farmer's Gatorade. Sounds good. If you go there, drop us a line and tell us what you think. If you're like me, you eat a lot of your meals either on the run or at your desk. But even when I get something from the supermarket grab and go, I want it to be healthy and nutritious. That's where Taylor Farms comes in. Here's Washington Grown's Val Thomas Matson.
Today I'm in Seattle at Taylor Farms with products that range from ready-to-eat salads to fresh-cut fruit and vegetables. Taylor Farms supplies some of the largest grocery chains in the U.S. My first stop is to meet with their food safety manager, Caroline.
So tell me a little bit more about what we're going to see today. So we bring in all of our vegetables into the plant through here and take them, wash them, prep them, cut them to our customer specifications, and then we move them out onto the assembly line and we build different types of salads that are just pre-made, ready to eat for our customer. Now, you all use a lot of Washington-grown products here. How does that make a difference? It stays fresher in our facility, which ultimately increases our quality to the customer.
The first thing Caroline showed me is where they make their ready-to-eat salads. As I walked into the room, I couldn't help but notice how cold it was. Caroline said the temperature was between 34 and 36 degrees to keep the produce fresh.
Probably 95% of our jobs that we have and positions that we have here at Taylor Farms are in refrigerated areas. So,
as we walk over to the wrap station, Caroline challenges me to jump on the line and give it a try.
all right. So I'm going to wrap and keep the protein isolated.
Yep, separated. Very good.
And then, did she pull this over?
You can pull, yep. You
oh,
can
dear.
pull it back.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
That's very good. These guys make it look really easy, don't they?
Oh,
it
my
is,
gosh.
It is about practice. It is about rhythm, and these guys do a phenomenal job.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you.
Since I quickly got kicked off the line, my next stop was to sit down with Steve Ish, president of Taylor Farms Northwest. With so many products and locations, I asked Steve, what makes Washington special?
It means a lot to be in the state of Washington, and kind of all ties back into the homegrown side of things that we're able to do here. I know the retailers like to be able to say, hey, this product was grown locally.
So what are some of the most popular products that you all are known for?
Well, do a lot with wraps. We do some sandwiches from that standpoint.
You're going to take the one I made out, I hope.
No, actually, I understand you did a fantastic job. We may have had to chase you down the line a little bit, but my understanding is you did a super job.
Gosh.
The salads themselves, the individual salads, again, being on the deli side, that's really where a major focus of this facility is.
Steve said his favorite product is the fruit yogurt parfait. I had to try it out myself.
That works.
Very smooth.
Look for more stories like that one from our friends at Washington Grown every week here on Refined. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Refined. Our Refined team's tails are still wagging from a big weekend event, Gone to the Dogs. A little rain didn't stop the tails from wagging at the Furry 5K at Seward Park. The annual event raises money to benefit the great work they do at Seattle Animal Shelter. As far as we can tell, a doggone good time was had by all. If you were there or want to see a bunch of photos of some really cute dogs, check out the gallery on our website. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Gard Swanson. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you right back here on Seattle Refined.